Welcome to the 12th and final module in the Sacred Attention Therapy online training course Level 1. This is Module 12, Elements of Inner Work Practice. I am your tutor Richard Harvey, and in this presentation we will be looking at the relationship is experienced by the therapist in curiosity and awareness, the spectre of the client who does not yet know himself, but who has not yet attained to wisdom and insight, is like being with a blind person. My therapist often replied to my admission that I didn't know by saying, "Well, what about the part of you that does know?" I recall my bafflement and confusion. His insistence told me that he knew something about me that I didn't know myself, that he had an insight into who I really was, that he knew me better than I knew myself. When we practice awareness and verbal clarity, we discover how language confines us, how concepts and rational structures dictate experience and reality. When we challenge the limitations of language, we collide with the barrier of our concepts. But when we expand our conceptual abilities and free ourselves from the chains of our semantic prison, we gain a new view of reality. In the future, we may need a new language based on reciprocity and all-inclusiveness, unity rather than divisiveness, a language of self-acceptance, awareness and conscious being that can more adequately describe the relationship between our inner and outer world. The Himalayan mountains have been likened to inner consciousness. The Himalayan trek story is something I tell my clients. It's an analogy, a way of explaining the basics of successful inner work. Imagine you are taking a trek in the Himalayas. You arrive in a small village at the beginning of your journey. What do you require? First, you bring confidence to your endeavour or you wouldn't be here. Second, you need a sense of commitment, a certain earnestness to get you through. Third, you've never been to the Himalayas before, so you need a guide. One you can trust, one who's going to say, "This part of the route, that's dangerous. Round this corner it's a difficult climb, or there's a dangerous drop." Now which guide will you hire? Obviously the one you can trust. These then are the basic requirements for the inner journey: confidence, commitment, and trust. The roots of sacred attention therapy hark back to the ancient meetings of wise teachers and guides with acolytes and seekers, wandering, questing, journeying, looking for truth, a tradition that may have been all but lost in the modern era. From the first time a human being sought wise guidance, the example of mentoring, empowering and developing the seeker in search of themselves entered our consciousness. As natural as the relationship between the sun and the sunflower, or the river and the sea, the wayfarer turns toward the wise guide in hope of nourishment and wisdom. This is the end of the 12th and final presentation in Module 12, Elements of Inner Work Practice of the Sacred Attention Therapy Online Training Course Level 1.